What is organizational design and why is it important?
Organizational design is the art, let me say the art of defining tasks and responsibilities within a company by dividing the employees that works in a company in small groups. Why to divide people in small groups? Because each manager that supervises each group assigns specific tasks and focus the job of the people to achieve specific targets inside the company. So the most traditional model to design an organization is the functional model. In the functional model, the entrepreneur delegates the responsibility to achieve some targets to some managers. Each manager supervises a team of people, and these people are focused to achieve some targets by owning some specific competencies that enable them to achieve the target. So, specializing people in small groups to aim to specific targets delivers efficiency, and it works well, especially in stable work environments.
Successful enterprises. Is there one single optimal organizational structure?
Well, saying that one organizational model is good for any company is like saying that a suit is good for any person. It's not like that. The organization that fits a company in a certain moment really needs to take care of the specific features of that company, customers, products, aims of the stakeholder, culture of the people that works in that company, technology, digital maturity of the company, and so on. Let's talk about the life cycle of a company, of an enterprise. When an enterprise starts, normally is a small group of people, very creative, with a lot of imagination. They are starting their own business, and what happens is the fences around that organization are not very well defined. There are many people from inside, outside that contribute to the startup of the company. In the next phase of the life cycle, the company gets more stable in terms of people working inside, in terms of revenues, loyalty of the customers. At that stage, normally the organizational model that is adopted is the functional organizational model, the simpler one, the one described above. If the company goes on and grow up and become bigger and bigger, for instance having many product lines, or even working in different sectors on a wide geographical area, is rather common that the company move to adopt a divisional organizational model. That means that for some big categories like groups of products, for instance, there are many companies inside the company that are the divisions. Each division has inside almost all functions, so it's a sort of independent business area, and the performance of the manager of the division is measured on the profit that division delivers. So the profit and losses, each division has a profit and losses in order to measure the performance.
Which are the main trends in designing organizational structures?
Thinking about large organizations that are organized in a functional or divisional way, what happens is that people are pretty much separated each other, because they belong to different parts of the organization that have not many connections. But this is a limitation nowadays, because the competencies of these people that are spread out in different areas and even in different places in many cases quite often needs to be combined, to be aggregated in a synergic way in order to serve the customers in the most effective way. So in order to overcome this issue, in order to avoid to have a silos mindset by the people working in an organization, A frequent solution is a matrix organization. A matrix organization is a model where each person inside that enterprise have 2 or more reporting lines depending on different drivers like products, customer, geographical areas, competencies center, and so on. So matrix organization, different reporting lines, and people are much more connected each other even if belonging to different functions or divisions. Another way to make an organization more effective is to redesign the organization based on the main processes inside. So let's think for instance at the active cycle and at the basic processes that are bid to order and then order to cash. So a good way to rethink the organizational model is to study in depth that processes and to understand how the tasks performed by the people can be aggregated in order to let the activities to flow through the process in the most efficient way in order to achieve the final goal, that is the goal for the entire enterprise, to get the order from the customers in one case, and next is to get payment from the customers. Okay? So rethinking the organization, redefining combinations, functions, units, and again having most likely more reporting lines, solid line, dotted lines. This helps to define the organization in an efficient way.